fucking scumbags working together to take everything I could have been to fucking manipulate me and profit themselves off of it. I'm not whining or crying. I mean, you really think so? You really think like I'm like, oh, I mean, like, yeah, hey, that does suck. I've never been able to do anything I want, but yeah, at the same time, I gotta look at it like, oh, now I'm God. That's an interesting aspect of things. Like, instead of being able to just like live a simple life and do the couple things I wanted, I have to live through it watching a world fucking disassemble fucking humans and destroy children and destroy one another and then learn fucking I'm a magician. I mean, like, technically I wouldn't be a magician at first, right? And then, but the world did not, their people showed me nothing but books of illusions and trickery, and they said, it's all a lie, it doesn't exist. And then, so whatever is actually going on here, probably them, right? I mean, why should I even take blame if I can blame them for mistakes I make? I think that's what they were trying to get through when they told me, if you're God, why would you want anyone to know? But it's like, why would I want to trust people who have ran over me my whole fucking life? If that was God, that wouldn't have happened. You know, if I was this all creator, now that there's definitely some things going on, right? Empty shells who claim they were living beings, lying, manipulating motherfuckers, claim they have these lives, or doctors or whatever, and then all of a sudden they come to me and locate me and tell me they've been watching me and their magic crystal balls, or I don't know, maybe it was an ad during one of the gay pornos they were watching or something. Um, they won't tell. You see what I'm saying, bro? Okay, supposedly I'm God. There's some fucking lifeless clones appear out of nowhere who are devils poisoning God, and then locking up God, and then 3 months later coming and crying to God that God is now fucking locking them down and fucking poisoning them. This is bullshit, dude. It wouldn't have happened in the fucking first place. It's like a lot of shit in my life. If I was like fully in control of this world wouldn't have ever existed. Shit, fucking. I mean, technically the story is like, yeah, it existed, and then the humans, and then I have to come back because the humans and their masters and the people I put in charge, right? Technically, that's the written story, and I guess if I can find the things I can change, then everyone's memory and all the written books on the planet will just be rewritten like that, and it won't exist the same. But yeah. And then they tell me at the same time, don't do that. Don't do that, because when you start rewriting the past, as I actually seen around that same time, they said, like, we don't, that doesn't mean anything changes. I mean, they made movies on, the AI just generated movies on that like that. Not only were they telling me that stuff, you can see on my Facebook, I mean, you can see all over this place. There's literally people in the real world telling me I'm God and then trampling me afterwards. It's like, you are mentally ill. Going around telling people they're God and trampling them. You, my friend, need what you did to me, force injected with poisons, and locked down. permanently for people like that. Because 2020, who did 2020 fix? Can you fix it? Like, do I go into Grand Theft Auto and I'm like, I'm tired of these NPCs walking around here doing nothing, and I have to become the big mob boss and kill all the other criminal scumbags here and all the other dildos who need killed and provide people with the products they need and all this. I've actually, since seeing this, I do that, and then they're just like the same thing. Just like, watch out, jerk. Stay off the sidewalk when I'm running them over with the car and stuff. And it's like, Jesus, crazy. What the hell do we do with these things? Like literally, okay, so when you're told you're God, and when you're shown, like, the world is, like, really happening around you, like, the important thing is to know that you have to take care of everything. You have to solve everything. And that's not very hard. I was already doing that running for president before I was God. Imagine that the first person in the world runs as world leader just happens to be God. What a coincidence that is. And they censor me and say, okay, good night. If I'm really God, fucking, you're gonna get censorship. Why? No, you're still running your mouth. We've got to stop that mouth from being able to run. Either steel bolts and chain links as muzzles and sterilization, or whatever it takes. What the hell type of God comes to a planet and then people run over and take everything? Have you seen what I do on drums? Within 8-10 years, I was playing the most advanced shit on drums. Wasn't allowed to do that. When I was a kid, I spent my money on a guitar amp and shit. And then the Muslims came and reported me to the Nazi pigs. I don't know, the first or second day I played it, so I sold it for drugs. Because that's what humans want. They've been drugging me since I was a kid. They're selling drugs all over, and that's all they do. There's seriously like 26 places within just a few minutes or less out here who are selling drugs and monopoly on drugs. Like, their people use the force down my fucking throat while telling me not to do anything of value. And literally now some of them tell me I'm God after they trampled me and drugged me my entire life. What the hell do you think is going to happen to you if your dumbass, delusional, retarded, I'm God mind fucking is correct on that shit? Maybe, you know what I noticed? I can go in the past and change the past because it doesn't exist. Maybe, just like the people who come up to me with their face busted open and tell me I'm God, maybe it was the same thing where I said, you know what, in the past, let's kill and let's mutilate, destroy, and torture these fuckers who step in my path. And that started happening. People who came up to me, manipulated me, had their faces busted open and stuff. And one was even like crying. Like, I was like, hey, let's go fuck them up. Because I thought they try to act like, people act like they're your friends before they fucking rape you, mutilate you, destroy your entire existence, enslave you. You know how it works. I got this mirror. I got a mirror in my hand, but it's really a portal to another dimension. Give me all of South Africa and I'll let you have it. And they're like, okay, I guess it's you. And now you ain't got no more mines or no more South Africa. Because these manipulative motherfuckers are allowed to speak. Period. They're allowed. If we took their mouths away, what would they do with their legs? I don't trust them. All they do is focus on manipulation. They're going to come up with something. But mean, wait, what am I? I'm, I mean, I'm supposed to be God, and I come here, and I'm just like, oh, well, that's so great. I'm glad you're a manipulative, lying scumbag pedophile who terrorizes and destroys everyone, yet alone fucking God. Hey, literally, like, oh my God, that dude. It's not, I don't know how many of them. I'm trying to fry my brain, inhaling spray paint and deadly chemicals, drinking as much poisons and shit as I can every now and then. I mean, I really don't like how whenever I drink poisons, I end up just feeling sick and don't get to die. But, hey, I try every now and then. The inhaling supposedly got rid of people, but I'm God, I guess, so I don't get to die. I just get to age so I can look like fucking God and shit. And they're odd too. It's some odd shit. These people are on to something, I think. Calling me God is lifeless puppets who apparently don't even work jobs or have a life, and they watch me through a crystal ball their entire existence. Come up to me, telling me about my personal life, and fucking. I'm pretty sure, like, these motherfuckers are scared. I mean, it's real easy to see when they're like, you're in control here. I mean, the next logical thing, if you really believe this dumb shit you're saying, you're sitting around shaking in fucking fear and shit. You should be like, what would you like next, master? And I'd be like, you to fuck off. If I was honest, but you know what? Those people have been fucking poisoning me and terrorizing me my whole fucking existence. I'm not. I don't. I don't have the balls to tell them to fuck off. Yeah, I've had people stab me, and I go up and give them a hug afterward because you know why? What happens? What happens when a human does something? Oh, our Lord and Savior, the human, has all the rights in the fucking world. I had one of these scumbags kill themselves right beside me after assaulting me for like a minute straight. Like, yeah, MMA matches don't even last a minute. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, God, when is this going to be over? Like, oh, I got to get to bed at 6 a.m., dude. Like, oh, my God, I got to hurry up and get home and get to bed. And then he kills himself, and then the humans are like, oh, my God. One of our precious devil species just died around God. I mean, they weren't calling me that back then, but they all call me that now. And so it's like, okay, so these lying motherfuckers knew this shit all along, and they're fucking mentally ill. They can't even pass kindergarten, but they know I'm God. How the fuck does that happen? They can't pass kindergarten, but they know what the fuck I was doing behind closed doors before fucking 2020 fucking unfolded and shit. They know what the fuck I was doing in 2016 and shit. But they failed kindergarten. Failure means you didn't know what was happening. So go ahead, place yourself in it. If the shoe fits, like I've always said, if the shoe fits in your ass, that's where it belongs. So, and at this point in time, we're not playing tiddlywinks with these scumbags. I'm on a time frame here. I only got so many years left. And I'm trying to shorten that as fast as I can to get away from all these fucking terrorist scumbags on this fucking planet. So you best believe that fucking time frame is short and short. As God, they tell me even God's dead. And it's like, it's clear, like my body is decaying and, gone. Like when my heart, it fucking feels like it's being stabbed and smashed by an elephant for like 3 days fucking straight and shit. Then, like, that's it. Maybe they're just fucking with me. The pedophiles are just having some fun playing some games. Yeah. The degenerate terrorists and slavers, scumbags, and shit. God fucking damn these motherfuckers. Straight to fucking hell with them. Let's bring hell to them. Like I keep saying, let's bring hell to them. Fuck this nonsense. They goddamn NPCs. There's no hell for an NPC. No one's gonna waste 10 seconds programming a place for them to go to, yet alone like millions of years programming a hell and shit into the computer. Fucking, you gotta bring hell to them and shit. I mean, they're still there. They're still doing. God fucking damn, dude. I guarantee you the fucking terrorists who fucking poisoned me and fucking locked me down before 2020 had to happen. The mirror reflection had to work fucking to enforce that on the other 14 billion people on the planet who are behind it. Fucking, I'm sure that dude still works at the fucking place. The building still stands. It's not fucking rotted out by fire. It's not hit by a nuclear missile. It's still there. I guarantee you, he goes home with his fucking lard ass and feeds another lard ass and has a bunch of lard asses who are, it's like a terrorist army that replicates and multiplies. Do you know what multiplication is? It comes from like 4th grade math. Okay? So I understand not everyone knows this. But multiplication is where you have like one thing and then you have two things. It multiplied. 1 by 2 is 2. So now you have 2. Now when you have one lard ass, degenerate terrorist son of a bitch, and another lard ass degenerate terrorist son of a bitch, supposedly the game allows them to create more. It creates the illusion that people are breeding and having these things called children. So when we have the 2 lard ass terrorist sons of bitches, they shit out fucking a whole bunch more terrorist lard ass sons of bitches and shit. Fucking the fuck, dude. All I know is I wanted out of this place in 2020, and I'm not there, because the degenerate lard ass terrorist sons of bitches and their fucking turds they shot out their vagina prohibit that. And granted, let's take it easy on them, on the scumbags for a second. They're probably NPCs, so they don't do anything because that's what they do is nothing. I mean, obviously these people are terrorists, and what they do is terrorize, drug people, manipulate them, rape them, mutilate children. And, I mean, but who doesn't, right? Like, I'm in USA. Like, at this point in time, they turn their males into females. I'm still trying to figure out how that happens after I talked about stuff like that in the world. But it does happen. And I don't really care what you do, as long as you don't do it to me. But it's been done to me. I mean, hell, they're doing the same thing to me, to those people with their steroids and estrogen now. And they're forcing the females allowed to be around children, or like forcing their children to take estrogen because they don't like men, and they know a man ain't gonna listen to and obey them, and they didn't want a man anyways. No one does. So, like, what's the next logical step? Change it to a female instead of drugging it and force injecting it with poisons and all that stuff they've been doing for decades and stuff. Let's give it estrogen this time instead of amphetamines and antidepressants, and let's give it estrogen that way, because that's so smart. I mean, it really takes a person with estrogen to see that as a way to make someone docile, and it's going to make someone psycho killer But you can just swat them down with a fly swatter. But they're going to be killing people until they're swatted down. I mean, that's what they've been doing with the drugs, right? The fluorides to dumb you down and stuff like that. It's in water, and people just allow that. The pedophilia, it's in the hospital, that's fine. The wars at the schools. The schools are taking donations from 8-year-olds to fund Zelensky Nazi and shit. I'm sure, because when I was a kid, they was taking donations to fund wars against Arabs. And I guess right now the most important thing is to continue that war. And so they're probably taking donations for that. And the schools are probably like anti-religion. At the same time, they're probably like, we need money for God's people. They're being taken over. The land we stole from them, and protect them. It's just not so protected anymore. And you know what you should do is instead of giving crackheads like Zelensky and Israel money, you got to give the crackheads out here things they can use in life, because they're going to take that money and buy some hamburgers or some crack, cocaine, or a TV, something that's going to really just make them worse. You got to give them some Band-Aids or something, something of value. I don't know, give Zelensky some diapers. Clearly he could use one if he just wore it over his face. The world, would probably treat him a little better. Same with Netanyahu. He had some diapers, instead of giving them money, give them stuff they need. I don't know, dude. I do know is there's shit pissing me off where in 10 years I end up playing the most advanced fucking drum shit on the planet, and the humans fucking enslaved me and took away my ability to do anything like 40 years ago, and they're still robbing me. Like every time I do something, they fucking take all my ideas, everything I create, and fucking go get rich off it. And then fucking censor me and shit when I try to do or say anything. It's like, bitch, we need better robots. These robots, fucking flawed ass programming, definitely not anything anyone would want to associate with who's living and shit. I don't know. We gotta do something. We need some better robots on this planet. And if these are NPCs, like I understand this is just a game, right? Fucking and there's no way you can fucking say I'm literally God and I create fucking existence of man, right? Like, I mean, it sure fucking looks like it, but it really doesn't matter the function of how it works, right? I mean, it does, because we have devils on this planet and lesser little turds they control, lesser turd devils they control, protecting them and stuff. And all I know, it doesn't matter what's going on, and we know we got to get rid of most of these because they don't quit. Like I said, I'm sure that terrorist scumbag doctor still works at that place, and still does what he's been doing. He didn't learn a damn thing from 2020. I guarantee you, he's still there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe one person actually learned something in the entire existence of the world. One person learned something one day. They went to school for 12 years, didn't learn nothing. Isn't that fucked up though? Like, if I'm really God and I am creating a bunch of shit here, and they're definitely stealing it from me, and they're definitely wouldn't that be fucked up if I'm God and they're stealing shit from me? They're fucking censoring me and hiding me from the world, trying to enslave me, trying to keep me down, trying to keep me from the other races, which we know they're doing these things. All these things I'm going to name, we know humans. Since you guys all want to think one species exists on this planet. And let me tell you, if you're a religious group and you think only one species exists, the hell do you think a god is? A human? No. What do you think angels are? Humans? No. No. There's definitely clearly an outline here. Whatever they are, there's other things on this planet other than humans. Whatever they are, there's something else here. Okay, so you have people coming up to me telling me I'm God now, like by the masses and stuff. This has been happening since 2020. It starts with one of them. Figuring out I'm God starts with one of them coming and crying to me. And, talking to me. Like, really, they didn't come up crying at first, but then I was like, what do you think's going on right now in the world? And they're like, some crazy person's changing the world around us. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And they do their little Illuminati signs and stuff. And while I do this, I should summon some. I need a perfect bitch. Perfect in every way. If you can't remember what I said, you need to die because you're retarded. So, if I'm going to do the sign, I might as well request some magic shit, right? There might be some sort of fee I have to pay in the end and stuff. They told me they're the baby eaters, and all they do is lie, and I really doubt anything happens. Okay, so I'm God. I come to Earth, and so I can see what's going on because people are all crying about how like the world is full of terrorist scumbags. And I come here, and the first thing they start doing is destroying my life. Anything I want to do, they say no, no, you're a slave. I used to. It's okay. So what I was allowed to do was that schools and stuff would force me to write so much that my fingers are deformed. Like I bled, and I developed fucking large sores that remain for like decades and stuff. Like the fucking deformation's still there, and the sores and shit literally stayed for like the fucking at least 10, 20 years and stuff because they made me write so much. And why? When I already knew everything. I didn't have to write anything. And so I stopped writing. That didn't help. The sores obviously go away. And then they start complaining I'm not showing my work. It's like, well, I should be getting like more awards from the president. Not only am I a fucking an award-winning writer, but I should get awards from the president for being the child smart enough to know the answer to everything without even fucking doing any work. To me, that's fucking... Boy, there should be a class. There should be 10. No, there shouldn't be any school at all. That's just daycare for lazy cows. But, people shouldn't breed. There should be a 10th class they add for people who know things. It's like if you know stuff, you're going to ace this class. And one of those little things could be like not even having to do the work if you just know it. And then you get, if you're one of their people, which oddly I kind of look similar to, you get like Lady Gagme in her deformed mutant ass and gets hauled off to genius schools. But people like me, they've been interfering with my life to try to enslave me and keep me down. And every time it's one of it's a person who looks like them. That's why I don't like them because I feel like a Nazi for them invading their way into my life 24/7, me not being allowed to kiss or hug or touch or talk to anyone who looks different than them. But they use physical force to do that since first grade. I'm pretty sure that's the first time I remember them separating me from Asian people. They're really scared of Asians. They're so much smarter and better than they are. The Asian shooter on YouTube here I'm watching now just puts every other gun channel I've ever seen to shame. Like he can act. The other ones are like, how do I shoot? Bang, bang, and he's like, like all on target and wearing actual gear. It's like, oh my god, no wonder these people are trying to separate God from them or anyone because they need You have to separate people. If you want trash to take over the planet, you have to make sure trash is trash and trash is everywhere. Because no one's going to want trash. But if everyone is trash, then go ahead and no one's going to do anything like Kanye West and Mel Gibson. I mean, come on, look at them. That's their people. What are they doing to themselves? Nothing. They're not going to do anything. I mean, technically, they did ban Kanye. Like Elon Musk, what's he going to do to his family? Nothing. Because he knows that, though. He bragged. Like, that's a different situation, right? But the other people, I actually had one of them come up to me and defend me once. Like, I was in a place where there's probably, like, I don't know, 10 or 100,000 people, and, you know, violence was going on. And they, like, kind of came and helped me, and they're like, I know what I'm talking about because I'm part of that. I was like, oh, wow. I feel safe now. I'd rather, I was literally trying to get them to assault me so I should get on camera, but their people continually came and stopped all that from happening, so I couldn't get any media coverage for my presidential run or anything I was saying. So, yeah, definitely evil, even if they're half there, as far as I'm concerned and stuff. Yeah, there's really nothing we can do here. We have people who, we have an entire society of didn't do nothings who are drugging children, mutilating children, playing with their genitals, like, and they call it science and government and medicine and religion. And so it's perfectly fine as long as you don't call it sucking a child's wiener. You can call it Christianity or science or hospital or government, Mike DeWine, the governor, the mayor. You can call it whatever you want. Literally, that's the only weapon in this game the enemy has, isn't it? To just run their mouths and lie 24/7. And it's like since the 2020 stuff and people started calling me God, some of them will still come up to me and pull their bullshit. And they'll come up to me and call me God. And then, like, terrorize me and manipulate me and push me around. And whoever I am, it doesn't matter. Some of these people are empty fucking shells that are devils. And I'm going to assume this is a game. And the reason why there's empty shells who are devils all over the place is just like every other video game ever been made. Including all the video games where you're God. And you gotta go to Earth, you gotta go to the planet and deal with the problems that you accidentally created, and now you have to get rid of them and stuff. Although, I guess Earth's the only game I've ever played where they try to manipulate you that you created the trash. Whereas the other games where you're God, you just go there because the people ask for your help and you smite all the bad guys and stuff. Here they try to tell you everything's your fault. They're like, you're God. You know, that's your fault. We're raping children and all that. And it's like, oh no, bro. If I was God right now, your head would be lobbed off. You would not dare speak to me in such a tone and shit. Like, you're lucky. My God, powers are... I don't press them and shit. But that's hard to say. Because, you know, what's the difference between smacking someone's head off their shoulders and flooding their city? Which is worse? I mean, the city created that trash. And continually, I mean, like, literally, there's like 26 or 40 places just right outside the window that sell drugs that they're probably using to drug children with. And then there's at least a couple of them, probably. There's at least one I don't want to count. All I see is fucking devils. So, who cares about counting? Who mutilate children for their religious, satanic, Christian, atheist cult for the humans. I mean, and they continually just have all these other things they blame. They're like, yeah, they're holding the children's penis in their hand, and they're like, it's the devil's doing it. It's like, oh, wait a minute. You're like, you're doing it. And they, now gone. Now gone. It's the devil. Yeah. Those white people over there in Europe, they're doing this. It's not me. It's not me. And then you're like, check. And then they send some people out to pick you up, and they're like, why is that person dead near you? And I'm like, I don't know, bro. Or what if I'm even not, even when I was not like chopped, when I was just like, this person is going to die, and then they kill themselves. It's like, I still got in trouble for that. It's like, but these pieces of shit, no fucking, I just told him to, I didn't tell him to kill himself, but it just like, my emotions and my thoughts create the world around me. So if I have someone assaulting me, trying to kill me, and I'm like planning in my mind what's going to happen if they keep doing this, and then they die, like, well, the humans say I'm God, and from what I see, what happens is that motherfucker kills himself. And that was the first time I noticed that, but it wasn't the last. And other times, like, I wrote the script a little more precisely. And the first time, like that time, I was protected. Like, that's the real God protecting me. He's like, no, we're training you right here, bro. We can't do this. I'm gonna have to end this conversation with your pal right now and stuff. It's like, ew. Okay, but don't worry, I gave you millions of dollars like a couple weeks ago, so you're gonna be able to afford this. And you're gonna get to play guitar for a long time. And you need that help, because you're not like the AI human bots, and you actually have to work to do something. Fuck, dude. This is all fucked up, man. Talking about this shit, like, I realize, like, I'm literally here in a war right now, aren't I? Against, and the devils think they exist, and their talents are driving cars, working at McDonald's, watching TV, and literally, they're telling me my talents are flooding the planet, fucking controlling their minds that tell them to go fucking put a mask on and force inject themselves with poisons, while they have to they think in their minds they physically have to grab me and force inject me with poisons and lock me up. And I'm assuming that's always like part of the storyline when shit happens, and then the other magic shit happens. It's like when they send me a terrorist scumbag to train me to kill people. They do the things like manipulate the world around me, and but at the same time, then they send another terrorist scumbag in to like prevent that. Like they pretty much like open the prison doors so I can get out. Like, it's written, but their religions and stuff by the world's leading religion. That happens to people. That the bad guys come and get you, and then magically the door is open and you walk out. And then I guess what it doesn't follow up with is one of the terrorist devils are going to come into your life real fast and try to put you back in there and stuff. The story's a little more advanced than what's been written and stuff. But it's like, damn, dude, like, I'm pretty sure what's been happening here is, I was thrown into a game world, or a world. Who cares if it's a game world, right? If this is the real world, it's even more important we deal with these scumbags, isn't it? It being a game makes me look at it like a joke. So, and it's de-NPC-izing, it makes NPCs think that they're not real. And you can't do that because then they'll be like the other people who kill themselves when I tell them to kill themselves, and I don't like feeling that way. You know, like I don't like being blamed for that, but they're real good at manipulating me about that stuff, and like, so you want me to kill myself? You think I don't exist? You think the reason I'm talking to you about your personal life and the stuff you do behind closed doors, and I failed kindergarten, and I'm calling you God, is because I'm not real and I don't exist? Oh yeah. I mean, no. I'm sorry, no. Um, I I meant to say, would you like some tacos? It slipped up. I'm trying to learn English. I used to know Russian, so I'm trying to learn English now. Mess up there.